Pikmin.
Do you like Pikmin?
No.
One of Nintendo's franchises that isn't very popular but has a solid enough fanbase to keep giving them money, unlike Star Fox. I found the mainline games pretty interesting after playing them for the first time not that long ago. And while the franchise has not gotten a new mainline game on home consoles in years, with the announcement of Pikmin 4, which is a game I am for some reason excited to play despite not being a Pikmin fan until today, I thought it'd be fun to analyze the original 3 games and look into what made the Pikmin series perfect, at least in my opinion, with the help of my friend Gavin. So with that all aside, let's just get right into what made Pikmin perfect. While development of the GameCube was going on, Nintendo made a tech demo, Super Mario 128. The purpose of this was to show off how many entities the GameCube could handle on a screen at once. Apparently, while experimenting with this concept, they came up with a concept of a god game called Adam and Eve, where you would watch over 2 humans that would multiply over time, fight, nest, and have children. Okay, Miyamoto. This was scrapped and turned into Pikmin, however. The first reveal of the game would come during E3 of 2001. The game would release in October 26th in Japan, December 2nd, 2001 in North America, and June 14th in 2002 in Europe and Australia. Ha! Fuck you, Australia! Now let's get into the game. Starting with the plot, you play as Captain Olimar, a pilot or worker for Hokate Freight. I think I'm saying that right. While he is flying a spaceship, the SS Dolphin, a meteor hits his ship, and he crash lands onto an Earth-like planet during the fall. The Dolphin would lose its parts, scattering them across the planet. After Olimar wakes up, he notes that he has only 30 days of supplies on the planet or else he will die, with there being 30 parts spread around the map. There are 2 endings. The best ending, which is the canon ending, where you get all 30 parts and escape. And the bad ending, if you don't get the 25 necessary parts, Olimar dies. The ship engine explodes, Olimar crashes back onto the planet. The Pikmin take his body to an onion and his head sprouts out as a Pikmin stem, popping out of Olimar. What the f? Now let's talk gameplay. Pikmin is a 3-dimensional strategy-based game. The goal of the game is to collect a total of 25 of the 30 parts within 30 days, or else each day lasts for 15 minutes. By the end of each day, you gotta collect all the Pikmin you can so they don't get eaten by their enemies. There are 3 types of Pikmin. Red, resistant to fire, and are relatively the strongest in the game. Yellow can be thrown higher and carry bomb rocks. Blue can move through bodies of water and save non-blue Pikmin by throwing them out of the water. What a hero. There are many obstacles that can be hazardous for Pikmin. You can only have up to 100 in the field. The rest would be stored at the onions. Bringing resources back to the onions can increase your supply of Pikmin. Pikmin can also mature by giving it nectar. Maturing also means upgrading them by making them better in every way possible. There are a total of 26 enemies, with the most notable being Bulbor, Bulbear, and Breadbug! There are 5 total areas split up: the impact site where Olimar lands, the Forest of Hope, the Forest of Navel, the Distant Spring, and the Final Trial. There's also a challenge mode. I mean, it's supposed to be a challenge. If you're ever confused with the game, Olimar's monologues explain the different things in the game. His voyage logs are what he writes down about his adventure, though, too. Give them a read. They're quite interesting, honestly. Pikmin originally released on the GameCube, and I love the GameCube, but come on, that controller must be awful trying to play with this. In 2008 in Japan, in 2009 everywhere else, we got New Play Control. This was a re-release on the Wii, and it has motion controls. This was honestly a match made in heaven for a game like Pikmin. Whenever you open the game, when the Nintendo logo appears, you can hear, wow, that is definitely not a sound I expected. But overall, yeah, that is Pikmin. A great game that has aged perfectly, to be honest, and graphically is probably one of the best looking games of 2001. Released in 2004 for the GameCube. 2004. What a good year. Pikmin 2 seems to be an interesting one. It seems to be everyone's least favorite out of the trilogy. This was my first experience with the franchise, so I have a bit of a soft spot for it. The plot of the game is pretty simple to grasp. Upon returning to Hokate, Olimar meets up with his employer, the president, and Louie. You gotta sell the SS Dolphin in order to pay off some of the debt. Holy shit, the debt has gotta be so horrible if a spaceship can't pay it off. So the president sends you and Louie back to the Pikmin planet to receive treasures. When on the Pikmin planet, Olimar and Louie, with the help of Pikmin, find treasures to pay off the debt. There are two endings, the ending where you get the debt paid off, and the ending where all the treasures are collected. This game removed the time limit from the first game, which honestly I do think it does hurt the game a bit, and I can see why people dislike the game because of it. There are two new hazards added to the game, those being poison and electricity. There's also new Pikmin in this game. The purple Pikmin, what's their ability? Strong Boy. The white Pikmin, what's their ability? Immunity to poison. Bulbmin, a traitor? They are immune to every hazard except physical threats, so please don't assault your local Bulbmins. So you know how Pikmin 1 has 26 enemies? You know, pretty sizable, honestly. Try 63. There are returning enemies like Bread Bug and Hairy Bulborb. Why is he hairy? There are 4 total areas in this game that are above ground areas. Valley of Repose, which is a snow valley, Awakening Wood, a small forest, Perplexing Pool, an aquatic area, and Wistful Wind, an autumn forest. There's also caves, and yeah, in my opinion, they aren't very good. They really seem out of theme for this game. Something cool about these, though, is that these are all areas from the first game, but after some time has passed. Now, Pikmin 2, of course, introduces treasures. There are some interesting ones, like a pot leaf. This confirms that Olimar has canonically smoked weed. A Duracell battery. Is that Skippy peanut butter? Each treasure has different values that you can use towards repaying your debt, and they each have weight. Just like the first game, Pikmin 2 also released with a port for the Wii, which added motion control in 2009, which again, a match made in heaven for a game like Pikmin 2. While I definitely understand why most people would say Pikmin 2 is the weakest of the trilogy, I still think this game is a lot of fun, but I mean, it's Pikmin. Why wouldn't it be? So with Pikmin 2 down, let's get into Pikmin 3. Pikmin fans would have to wait a total of 9 years until Pikmin 3's release in 2013. But before Pikmin 3 was even in development, they tried making a Pikmin game for the Game Boy Advance and apparently the 3DS. However, the experiences were too weak for those consoles as Miyamoto was not pleased with them. Development then would move to the Wii and basically be confirmed at E3 of 2008. At E3 2011 though, would be the announcement of development moving from the Wii to the Wii U. And after a few delays, Pikmin 3 would get released in July of 2013 for Japan, Europe, and Australia, and August for North America. Nintendo America actually held an event on July 20th and the 21st of 2013, where you could go to GameStop, play a demo of one of the stages in Pikmin 3, and you could get a download code to get Pikmin 3 a day early. One small issue happened here, very minor inconvenience. Only 2/3 of the people who participated actually got a working code. Put your pitchforks down, this wasn't actually a Nintendo being a bad company moment this time. GameStop marked 1/3 of them as regular release copies, so you still got the game, just not a day early. Now if you pre-order a physical copy, that's where things got funny. Some people's games got accidentally listed as the early access version of the game, not the full version of the game. And this SKU, which is a storage keeping unit, no longer worked after the 3rd of August, which was the day before the game released. If you pre-ordered on the 21st, you're good. You could get a refund and it's all fine. All because of the refund policy being within 15 days. If you pre-ordered on the 20th, fuck you, I guess. Buy the game again. Oh wait, I was supposed to be talking about the game. Let's get back into that. The story takes place in the galactic 21st century, the planet Kopai, currently facing a doomsday because of population growth, leading to the depletion of food and resources. 3 explorers are sent to the Pikmin planet to acquire seeds. Alf, Brittany, and Charlie. They have a ship called the SS Drake? At some point you find Louie. He steals your juice, and I mean all of your juice, and tries to leave, then gets eaten. The trio saves him again, but ties him up so he can't do any more trolling. You also find Olimar, held captive by a plasm ray. What the hell is that thing? After freeing him, you escape. There are 4 endings in this game. The worst ending being if you get less than 33 fruits. The narrator basically says you really didn't even help. Another ending, if you get between 33 to 53 fruits. The narrator says it may be enough if people are careful. Another ending, getting between 54 and 65 fruits. The narrator says if properly used, it could end the crisis. The best ending, getting all 66 fruits, you save the day, but the narration ends by implying that the accident that caused the SS Drake to crash was not an accident. Ooh. conspiracy theories. Now, in terms of gameplay, there's many reoccurring gameplay elements from the first two games, so also changing some of them and adding new ones. The time limit returns, kind of. As long as you got enough juice, which is obtained by collecting fruit, you're good to go. Battle mechanics have been improved, being able to aim Pikmin at specific parts of an enemy, which would cause different reactions. Pikmin do not go down in maturity ever, and poison has been removed and electricity has been nerfed. Instead of killing Pikmin, it immobilizes them until they're called back. Purple and white Pikmin are not usable in the main game, but we got two new Pikmins. The rock Pikmin, I mean, he's a rock, look at him, he's adorable. And the pink Pikmin, it can fly. There are two alternate modes in this game: mission mode, which is just like the challenge mode from the first two games, and bingo battle, a two-player competitive mode. Honestly, this game is just as great as the other two, if not better. Pikmin 3 would see a remaster of some sorts with Pikmin 3 Deluxe on the Switch, which released in October 30th of 2020 for everyone. Finally, true equality. This is literally a way better version of an already great game. Co-op story mode, more accessibility options, and new music. And overall, Pikmin 3 is just another great addition to the franchise. There are only two notable spin-offs here, so I want to very briefly mention those. Hey Pikmin, the worst received Pikmin game critically. It takes place after the events of Pikmin 3, and it's a puzzle platformer. I see they went the Chibi Robo's Ziplash route with this one. I really don't care for this game, to be honest, but it does not affect how I see this franchise anyway. This franchise is still perfect, even if this game exists. Pikmin Bloom, it's cool. It still gets content, which is surprising. You would expect the game would get abandoned sometime after launch. I can't say it's a masterpiece as the main trilogy games, but it is definitely cool. And, you know, I respect it. Another of the many things the series does right is music. But that's like any other Nintendo game now, isn't it? So it's no surprise. You got masterpieces like truly amazing. And then you got how did this happen? I could go on and on about the music for way longer, but I am already on Nintendo's hit list, so expect me to be struck within the 3 days. Graphically, I just want to say, these games are really good looking for a Nintendo game. I know a lot of people like to dog on Nintendo games for looking like shit, but these games just graphically look very good. Pikmin 1 looks very good for 2001. And, well, yeah, a lot of games from 2001 didn't age well. Pikmin was one of those few exceptions. Pikmin 2 looks great still. Doesn't look like a newly released game, but it looks good. Pikmin 3 Deluxe, or Pikmin 3 even on the Wii U, also looks very good. Pikmin 3 Deluxe just improves that. So yeah, I really believe the Pikmin franchise is just perfect. There isn't really any lows, aside from Hey Pikmin. It's not nearly as bad as something like the Sonic franchise, where you got consistency of bad games. There isn't many games in the series, but I feel like that's a good thing. Each game feels fresh in a way, and that's why I think it's good that there's only about 4 actual games and then 1 random Pokemon Go type of spinoff. The highs of this franchise are some of Nintendo's best games ever made. I will die on this hill. You cannot stop me. I'm pretty surprised the series isn't bigger than what it is. Now, it does have a pretty sizable community, but not nearly as big as it should be. Let's be honest here. The franchise definitely should have had way more of an appeal than it does. Personally, I think Pikmin 3 Deluxe may be the best game of the series, which shows because it was also the best selling of the series. If you've never played Pikmin before, 2, 5, 4, you've been warned. And this is all from me from this video. Subscribe and like the video if you want, and if you enjoyed, good. Now goodbye.